and welcome to Feel Good Fridays, our weekly television show to help nonprofit organizations raise money during these challenging times. Impacted by both tornado and pandemic, Nashville area nonprofits have been hard hit. Donations to nonprofits are important to keep their organizations running, and we at NECAT want to help share their stories and raise funds for as many nonprofit organizations as possible. Hello, my name is Sheila Paz, and I am the chair of the board for NECAT. And with me today is, as always, our vice chair, Shanalyn Brandmeier. And our guest today is Andres Martinez, Director of Policy and Communications of Conexion Americas. Welcome. Hello. Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
Hola. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You're welcome. I know a lot about Conexion Americas because I've been here in Nashville forever, but maybe our audience don't know much. Can you please tell us about Conexion Americas?
Yeah, so Conexion Americas is now a 19-year-old organization here in Nashville that is dedicated to building a welcoming community and creating opportunities where Latino families can belong, contribute, and succeed. So we are focused on supporting our Latino immigrant neighbors here in Nashville and all of the state of Tennessee. We're a statewide organization. We do that with programs in education, entrepreneurship, and advocacy as well to make sure that we affect positive policy changes affecting our immigrant neighbors.
So kind of tell us a little bit about the programming and what you offer at Conexion. Again, for the people that have not heard of the organization before. So exactly, what are some of the services you offer?
Sure. So for example, our education programs, we are in schools all over Nashville. We have a Parents as Partners program, which is dedicated, which is made to expose parents and train them and have them learn about the U.S. education system. So oftentimes parents come to the U.S. with no knowledge of how schools work here, school policies, how to help their children, especially in a language that they may not speak themselves. So this is a really empowering program where they can learn all about the school, how to read a report card, how to advocate for their child in case something were to ever happen at the school. We have programs for middle school kids as well. Those are after school programs where we have culturally relevant activities for them. I know a couple of years ago, we had the students after school making tortillas and tamales, and not just from one country, but from several countries, because across Latin America, we have different ways of making these foods. So it was really great for the kids to experience that and to learn something that they make at home, to learn about something that they make at home almost on a daily basis. And we have high school programs as well, after school programs that teach kids about college and how to apply to college, how to go to, how to take the ACT, for example. This is called our Escalera program. Escalera means ladder. And we really try to help these students reach college, become the first students in their family to go to college. And then from there, we see them go to college and we accompany them throughout that whole process. We have college success coaches on staff who follow and mentor our students who graduate from our high school program as they go through college. And it's really rewarding to see them grow throughout that entire experience. And we also have programs for adults. We have English classes. We have entrepreneurship classes, and knowing that immigrants come over here with a strong desire to start businesses, and we try to channel that energy, and we offer Spanish language entrepreneurship classes that teach the basics, everything from marketing to what insurance am I going to need to be able to run this business properly. And if you've been to our office, Casa Safran, which is a nonprofit collaborative on Nolensville Pike, you might see our kitchen, which is it's a commercial kitchen, fully licensed, that houses entrepreneurs, food entrepreneurs who have food trucks, wholesale businesses, and catering businesses. And it's an amazing space where people can start or grow their businesses. So we have tons of programs. We also help people pay their taxes. We help over 400 families a year file their taxes, which is a huge, important service that we offer for free. Knowing families that are here really want to pay their taxes and do, what's right.
Wow. You cover a lot. Wow.
Yeah,
I might need to come over and have you guys look at my taxes.
I think we all need help with the taxes this year.
All use that. It's ever changing.
Yeah,
but that sounds like a lot. It sounds like you really wrap your arms around families, individuals, children, but also families. So that's really amazing. That's a really amazing contribution to the community.
Yeah, it's something that I think is what makes Conexion unique, is that we are able to touch so many different aspects of someone's life. For example, when the vaccine distribution started, it was really difficult to find older Latinos in the community, knowing that the Latino population here in Nashville tends to skew very young. So we were like, where are they? Where are our abuelos and abuelitas? And what we were able to do was go back and look at our program participant records and identify, elderly people who had been part of our programs and called them. We're able to schedule vaccines for them. We're able to arrange transportation for them to get to the vaccine. So it was really a great example to show that, we are trying to look at the whole picture, the big picture, and make sure that, families are getting all of the resources that they need and not just, one thing here, one thing there.
Yeah, when you talk about the different things that you do, I actually know that about your business program there. I actually took the class for business owners, and it's incredible all the different things that you do even for little kids and people, families, and then also for the program to purchase their first home, which is incredible because a lot of the Latinos don't know the knowledge of the process of buying a home. So tell us a little bit about that process.
Yeah, so one of the programs I didn't mention earlier is our home buying program that gives families an orientation about what it takes to buy a house, how much you're going to have to be saving, what the down payment is going to be, what are mortgage products, financial products that are available for you to help pay for the home. And once, we have helped people buy homes, we are still there for them in case they need to refinance. Anything that comes with the financial aspect of owning a home, we try to educate the community in Spanish. And we're also a financial empowerment center site. And what that means is we have one person on staff who can give you a financial orientation, if you will. They can help you make a budget. They can help you build your credit. Any basic financial tools or education that you may need. It's a free service that is offered at a few places in Nashville, and Conexion Americas offers it in Spanish so that we can reach the Spanish-speaking community here.
That is great, and it's incredible everything that you guys do. Can you talk about, I know there is, do you have like a little school for little kids, like, how do you call it? Early, yeah?
PreK.
PreK, yes. And how did you guys were you able to have the kids over to continue the classes with the kids because of the pandemic? How did you guys manage to continue on?
So Casa Safran, which is our office, we are the main partner in Casa Safran, which is a nonprofit collaborative, and it was built with the vision to have kind of one place where immigrants in Nashville could access a lot of the resources that they need. So our partners in Casa Safran, we have a neighborhood health clinic. We have Tennessee Justice for Our Neighbors, which provides free legal services for immigrants who qualify for certain immigration relief. We have an MNPS PreK, as you mentioned, which has about 90 PreK students, and they follow, you know, MNPS rules for over the pandemic. I know that the younger ones got to go back for a while over the fall before they had to return. They're back now. While we're still mostly working from home, I'm in the office every now and again, and it's encouraging to see more and more students go back to the building. One thing we also did with Casa Safran was build a park right next door. If you've ever driven down Lowensville Pike, you know that there's a lot of used car lots, and it doesn't really seem that inviting. I mean, there's lots of traffic. It seems really dangerous, and actually is really dangerous for pedestrians in many areas. So we decided we wanted to bring a little green to the part of Davidson County with the least amount of green space. And so we partnered with the city to build Asafran Park, which is a small park right next to our office, and it's a metro park now. And we did it also because the pre-K kids needed a playground, because they didn't have a playground around our office. And now when we're in the office, we get to see them, you know, walk in a line, going over to the park and walk back to their classrooms. So it's,
and that is that's probably a bright spot in the day, because little children and playgrounds, and they're just so cute when you remember your childhood almost.
Yeah, remember when they tell you to put your hands behind your back and walk quietly down the hall.
So cute.
And remember how you got to go outside every day. I think as adults we might need to add that back in.
And the park is beautiful. It's colorful. It's vibrant. It's like a little Latin America park right there in the middle of Lawrenceville Road. And they just put a traffic light right on that corner. So it's great, because, you know, it's dangerous, that area right there to cross the street. And there are some coffee shops across the street. So I was like, one day I was going to go to Conexion, and I was across the street, and I stood like 20 minutes waiting to cross the street. So I'm glad that they have the traffic light right there now. So it's make it a little easier for everybody to get over there.
Yeah, we did a lot of advocacy work, and we have been and are involved in a lot of decisions that get made along Lowensville Pike. You know, wanting to be good neighbors and contribute to that conversation and make Lowensville Pike a more welcoming place for pedestrians. We've done a lot of work, including advocating to get that crosswalk put there to make sure that, you know, as not only we worry about safety of pedestrians along the street, but we worry about the sustainability of local businesses. Lowensville Pike has a ton of locally owned businesses, businesses owned by immigrants. And as, you know, Nashville gets more expensive, we want to make sure that our local business owners are able to keep their business in the location that is best for them. So we've done a lot of advocacy work there as well to prevent the displacement of these small businesses, which are just core to our community here.
And you've talked about how the pandemic affected the pre-K program. Talk about how you have adjusted in the pandemic with some of your other programs and services for people in the community.
Yeah, so, I mean, all of our programs were, you know, conducted in person. So at first, you know, it just seemed like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna do this? But we were able to completely, you know, shift and transition into a virtual setting. And it's exciting to see all of our programs being run in a virtual setting like this, on Zoom. English classes, our parents as partners classes, our student engagement programs, everything is being run online. And at first there was a lot of uncertainty. We didn't know, if our program participants were going to be able to handle the technology, if they had access to the technology. That's a huge issue. But we've been able to not only, train people on the technology, but also acquire technology for them, especially our students. Partnerships we have to make sure that they have laptops, college students especially. So it's been a learning experience, but it's been a great one, and one that's really opened our eyes to show us that we can not only do this, but doing this opens doors for us to expand the program beyond Nashville, right? So if the program is conducted virtually, or if it's a hybrid, virtual in-person program, we can, reach people in Knoxville. We can reach people in Memphis who may be interested in taking these classes, but don't have them locally there. So at first it was uncertain. There was a lot of uncertainty, but now it's a really exciting thing to think about the possibilities that we have now.
I was going to ask you about if you had seen the possibility of expanding it and more people coming in. We've heard that. I mean, we've experienced that at NECAT with putting a lot of our things online. But then we've also heard that from other nonprofits of how it's opened it up to more people in the community. That really how you switched and you're agile and you find that more people, the access for more people is really opened up. So it's great to hear that you've seen that as well.
Yeah, it's been great to see that. And I hope that we can continue doing that, but also making sure that we're, bringing people along with us, that we're making sure that people continue to have access to this technology and not be left out in that sense, because as I think the pandemic has shown us that we can do everything online. So we need to make sure that everyone has that same access.
A lot of nonprofits, just like Conexion Americas, depend on donations to keep the doors open. How were you guys able to stay open this whole year? How were the donations coming in? Did you guys have difficulty? What is the plan moving forward?
So right when we started working from home about a year ago now, we were in the middle of preparing for our largest annual fundraiser, which is a 700-person breakfast at Music City Center downtown. And when we had to start working from home, we realized we were not going to be able to host this event. So we kind of panicked and thought, what are we going to do? How are we ever going to raise the amount of money that we raise annually when we can't do an event in person? So we did what we always do. We adapted and we made an amazing video with our videographers who, a lot of credit to them, are amazing. And we were the first ones in Nashville, I think, to do something like this. And we were able to, tell the same story with the same type of programming that we do at the breakfast, but virtually. And reach a lot more people because we were able to stream it on social media, and people who normally couldn't make it to the breakfast in the morning were able to watch it from home, and we ended up surpassing our record for surpassing our goal, and we that was really exciting because we didn't know how it was going to go. And then, other nonprofit organizations started contacting us. And, how did you guys do it? What was the process there? Who did you work with?
Yeah, tell us the secret sauce. How did you do that?
Yeah, yeah. So it was great making those connections and being able to help other organizations with that process. So we're actually in the middle of preparing for that now, for our second virtual one, and hopefully our last virtual one. We really want to get back to the in-person event. And it's called Cafecito, which means a little cup of coffee. And it premieres April 23rd at 9 a.m. And we hope everyone can make it. It's going to be a great story. I'm super excited to watch it. I always cry, even though I'm deep in the process of making it. Every time I watch it, I think it's a really emotional thing to see the impact we're able to make in the community, and just how resilient our community members are.
And if people wanted more information, what's your website and how do they reach you?
Yeah, our website is conexionamericas.org. You can reach us through there. You can reach us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we'd love to hear from you. We have lots of volunteer opportunities. Like I said, we rely on volunteer English teachers, for example, and those classes are still going on virtually. We rely on volunteers to help us sort through school supplies, to repair school supplies, kits for students, and we rely on volunteers to help us with food distribution. Since the pandemic started, we've been doing drive-through food distributions almost on a weekly basis. So it's been a huge help for us to have volunteers, of course, socially distanced and masked, help us throughout this pandemic to reach more people and help us get these resources out to the community members.
Yes, I was just thinking of another thing that happens at Conexion Americas is one of the voting locations.
Yeah,
They do so much. I mean, this is an organization that it pretty much embarks every aspect of our lives, so they really need your support. So I know this whole thing was in English, but most Latinos knows about Conexión Américas. But por favor, vayan a apoyar a Conexión Américas if you are Latino and watching this.
Sí, contáctenos, apóyennos, lo necesitamos y dependemos de ustedes.
So anything else you would like to add that we have not covered?
I don't think so. I mean, Casa Safran does serve as an early voting site, as you mentioned. It's an exciting process to see people come in and vote. It was especially exciting this last November because we didn't know how it was going to go. We had lines out the door every day. It was so exciting to see that people were really lining up to vote. And this is something that we always do. We're, making sure voters have food, that they have water, that they have everything that they need to stay in line, because we really want to have them stay in line to vote. And I think that's just who we are, and we're a really welcoming organization, and we love to see you guys, and we are really excited to open Casa Safran again soon, and hope to see you when we do.
And also, I just want to add a couple more things, that Conexión Américas also was helping Latino businesses apply for the PPP and the financial support from the government, like every other organization was helping everybody else. And what was the other thing? I forgot. I had too many things in my mind.
Yeah.
The tornado. Yes, they do so much that you can keep up. The tornado, I went actually and donated some food and blankets to help people that were suffer a lot of damage from the tornado. Conexión Américas were helping the people during the tornado, and it's been a year.
It's been a year, and I remember it really well. And I think we've had experience in this before. Back in 2010, we really activated to help with the floods in Nashville. And I think really kind of cemented our position as, not only this nonprofit that provides a lot of resources you may need on a daily basis, but we're really active in disaster situations to make sure that people are able to recover. And after the tornado, we were in rural communities, trying to find immigrant families who may have been affected but couldn't access resources or didn't have the means to get to places, shelters. So we were able to locate families and bring them food supplies like the ones that were donated. So we do a lot, but we should do a lot. I think that we are a very yes organization.
Very yes. I think it's just too much. You guys, how many more things are you going to add to your plate? You know,
it can never be enough.
It can never be enough. Okay, that's good then. Help as many people as you can.
Yes, that's our goal. That's our goal.
All right. So everybody, please visit ConexionAmericas.org.
Exactly.
.org. Should you like to donate, their Cafecito event is April 24th?
23rd.
23rd. I missed by one day. I was listening. April 23rd, and it's a virtual event, just like they did last year. And should you like to support both NECAT and Conexion Americas, please go to our website, necatnetwork.org, and click on the donate button. And we really, really appreciate your support to NECAT and to all the nonprofit organizations that have been showcased here on Feel Good Fridays. Over to you, Shenaline.
I would just reiterate that as well. Thank you for joining us, and it was a great Feel Good Friday, and I hope everybody checks out Conexion America's website, and when they're open to the public, go by and see that wonderful park and spend some time at their organization.
Thank you so much for having us.